It was so painful after we broke up.
Because it didn't work out.
Yeah, once we called off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was gonna die. And it sent me on a spiral for the next 18 years where I just was, couldn't get it right.
But first, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
Long before Hollywood ships, fan cams, and relationship endgame were a thing, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck had a relationship that was worthy of every headline imaginable. And then the relationship ended in the most devastating way ever. But you know what they say about true love and how it never dies. 2 decades after they first dated and then broke up, Bennifer is back, better, and married. And if you're like us, you're definitely thinking about the years their love story didn't feature each other and wondering how in the world Batman and Jenny from the Block found each other again. Well, stay tuned because we've got the good, the bad, and the ugly details covering every inch inside Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's super messy relationship.
And we talked about how people kind of see him with one type of person and me with another type of person, and the two of us together is like, how did that happen?
Bennifer 1.1, the way they were then. Jennifer Lopez may be an iconic singer, but the multi-talented icon has also had a widely successful acting career. And for a short but unforgettable period in the 2000s, her role was to play Ben Affleck's girlfriend. The two first met on the set of Geely, a rom-com that was released in 2003. Although the film didn't end up successful in the box office, it was enough to set the wheels in motion for Jennifer and Ben. For those who don't know, back in 2001, J-Lo was still married to her second husband, former backup dancer Chris Judd. But shortly after Geely was filmed, the off-screen sparks took over, and she eventually went public with Ben Affleck weeks after filming and announcing her divorce from Chris. And like most Hollywood stars and couples, they had denied all the dating rumors surrounding them at first. But it was too obvious to be ignored. And by 2002, the couple was official, and the media was obsessed with their relationship. As J-Lo told People magazine,
"We didn't try to have a public relationship,"
she said.
"We just happened to be together at the birth of the tabloid." And it was like, oh my God. And it was just a lot of pressure.
And that pressure eventually got too much for their relationship to manage. The breakup. While they were together, Ben and Jennifer were couple goals, and they had such iconic star power that fans couldn't help but be in love with them and their relationship. Bennifer was the start of couple names in my lifetime, LOL, one person wrote. But sadly, that couple name wasn't made to last at the time. A few months after they started dating, Ben Affleck proposed to Jennifer Lopez with a $2.5 million, 6.1 carat pink diamond ring. Jennifer recalls that Ben had taken her to the house he grew up in.
He opens the door and it is just a blanket, a quilt of rose petals all over the whole entire house. And just everything was just so many candles and vases with bouquets, and my song Glad was playing. And I walk in and I'm just like overwhelmed, like I wasn't expecting it. And I was just like, oh my God. I cried a lot over sadness over the years, you know what I mean? And things that had gone wrong and relationships that didn't work out. And for the first time in my life, I cried an incredible purging tears of happiness. And it was the most cleansing feeling and the most wonderful feeling I'd ever had.
That wonderful feeling lasted for about 6 months after the romantic proposal. But a day before their wedding in 2003, the couple announced that they were postponing the date. The statement read, "Due to the excessive media attention surrounding our wedding, we have decided to postpone the date. When we found ourselves seriously contemplating hiring 3 separate decoy brides at 3 different locations, we realized that something was awry. We began to feel that the spirit of what should have been the happiest day of our lives could be compromised. We felt what should have been a joyful and sacred day could be spoiled for us, our families, and our friends." But unfortunately, that was the first sign that something was wrong in Bennifer land. A few months after they postponed their wedding, Bennifer broke up in January 2004, and the hearts of their fans broke along with their relationship. In a statement released on MTV, Jennifer Lopez's spokesperson wrote, "I am confirming the report that Jennifer Lopez has ended her engagement to Ben Affleck. At this difficult time, we ask that you respect her privacy." Although a lot of fans tried to comfort themselves with the thought that the engagement ending didn't mean that the relationship was over. It truly was the end of an era. And in 2010, during a guest appearance on The Graham Norton Show, for the first time ever, Bennifer spoke about how the pressure that the media put on their relationship ultimately affected them.
You know, I love Ben. He's a great guy, but it was a lot for both of us to be under that type of siege for 2 years straight. It was like we were on the cover of every magazine every week, and it was just, I don't know, it was just a weird thing that our relationship, I think, did suffer because of that. That's not the only reason, but I think it definitely played a part in like the dynamic of our relationship.
When Bennifer ended, it was the most heartbreaking experience that Jennifer Lopez had ever had. As she told Apple Music's Zane Lowe,
once we called off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was gonna die. And it sent me on a spiral for the next 18 years where I just was, couldn't get it right.
But she certainly tried to, and so did Ben, but it didn't turn out great for either of them.
What up, Ben?
Life after Bennifer 1.0. Shortly after their breakup, both Ben and Jennifer were spotted with other people, and at the time, it seemed like they had both moved on pretty quickly. In June of 2004, J.Lo got married to singer-songwriter and longtime friend Mark Anthony. The two welcomed twins 4 years later, and they divorced after 10 years of marriage. Talking about that moment in her life, J.Lo reveals the details in her 2014 book, True Love, where she writes that Ben and I split up at the moment when I thought we were committing to each other forever. It was my first real heartbreak. It felt like my heart had been torn out of my chest, she wrote. I sought out comfort in another person, tried to find someone who could make me feel loved and wanted in my loneliest hour. Mark came back into my life 3 days after I should have been at the altar saying I do to another man. But she knew that it was more of a rebound marriage than anything else, as she revealed that, saying, thinking back, maybe deep down, I knew that it was a band-aid on the cut, that my wound hadn't been stitched or healed, but I pushed all that to the back of my mind, because life takes unpredictable twists and turns, right? And you've just got to go with what feels is best in the moment. And we're not entirely sure how we feel about a marriage of 10 years being referred to as a band-aid, but Ben wasn't too far behind in the game of rebounds. A year after the iconic Bennifer breakup, Ben got married to Jennifer Garner, and after 3 children and about a decade of marriage, they also split up. And although they've shown that co-parenting can work and they've remained good friends afterwards, the aftermath of their split has been just as chaotic as Jennifer talking about Mark. Ben, who's been open about his struggles with sobriety and has been to rehab multiple times, told Howard Stern that
I was trapped. I was like, I can't leave because of my kids, but I'm not happy. What do I do? And what I did was drink a bottle of scotch and fall asleep on the couch, which turned out not to be the solution.
And the internet wasn't kind in their reaction to that statement at all. Ben sounds ungrateful and still drunk. I'm sure staying in an unwanted marriage is awful, but Garner helped him with his addiction and tried to get him professional help. Even if he didn't love her, that's what good friends do. He needs to take responsibility for his own actions, someone wrote. Although Ben has provided more details on how the conversation was taken out of context, and it seems like he and Jennifer Garner are in a good co-parenting place now, it's still a shadow that hangs over that part of his life. But he's definitely worked on himself, and he even dated Ana de Armas for a brief period while J.Lo was in a long-term relationship, plus engagement, with Alex Rodriguez. However, after 20 years of what seemed like no contact in the public eye, a ship name that was buried under relationships and new families and children suddenly got back into the headlines, and it seemed like Bennifer was back.
It was kind of like a miracle and something that neither one of us really ever thought would happen.
Bennifer 2.0, the way they are now. 20 years after they first dated, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez had the tabloids going crazy once again. In 2021, Page 6 reported that the pair had been hanging out, and the actor was photographed visiting J.Lo's Los Angeles home multiple times. Security picks him up at a nearby location and drops him off after spending a few hours at her house, said a source for the outlet. Although they tried to play it off as a friendship, multiple sources confirmed that the pair were trying out dating again. They really care for each other, and they picked up right where they left off, a source for E! revealed. Jennifer spent several days with Ben out of town, a different source added. They have a strong connection. It's all been quick and intense, but Jennifer is happy. They have been in touch here and there throughout the years, said another insider. Ben reached out to her to see how she was doing, and they had dinner together a few times within this last month. It's natural between them, and the chemistry is unreal. They picked up where they last left off and are enjoying each other's company right now. They certainly enjoyed each other's company well enough that their kids were brought into the mix as well. The couple was photographed with either or both sets of children, and they even took a trip to Universal Studios together. And the media was sent into a frenzy with news of Bennifer being back together. One person said, Ben Affleck and J-Lo are soulmates. It's good they got back together and can really be together. But someone else added, I can't help but feel we all parent-trapped J-Lo and Ben back together, and I hope we can deal with the consequences of that. While fans were wary about getting their hopes up, Ben quickly put some of that worry to rest as news of a brand new Bennifer engagement hit the headlines. J-Lo talked about the proposal in an edition of her newsletter, On the J-Lo, where she revealed that Ben had proposed to her for the second time while she was taking a bubble bath. Did you ever imagine your biggest dream could come true? She wrote. Saturday night, while at my favorite place on earth, in the bubble bath, my beautiful love got on one knee and proposed. I was taken totally off guard and just looked in his eyes, smiling and crying at the same time, trying hard to get my head around the fact that after 20 years, this was happening all over again. I was quite literally speechless, and he said, "Is that a yes?" I said, "Yes, of course that's a yes." The adorable couple decided to skip the initial wedding fuss and had a midnight wedding in Vegas with 2 of their kids as witnesses. And then they had a more intimate wedding with family and friends present in Savannah.
One day Ben just says, okay, let's just go to Vegas and get married tonight.
And fans have certainly noticed that both Jennifer and Ben are glowing brighter than ever. It's ridiculous how beautiful she is, but what gets overlooked is how much her inner beauty always shines through in interviews. I've never seen anyone transform the way that Ben has since their reunion, but I think the same could be said for Jennifer. She looks truly happy in a way that I don't remember her ever being before. It might have taken 20 years, but Bennifer are finally married. And their happily ever after seems like it's finally here. But of course, what's a good Hollywood love story without a bump in the road and a fight that's caught on camera? Trouble in paradise. Again? It seems like the honeymoon phase is over for the married couple, because recently, at the 2023 Grammy Awards, Ben was spotted looking miserable, like he'd do anything to be anywhere but there.
No, Mom, it wasn't the actual devil. No, they were just dressed as the devil, Mom. I have to go. Yeah, you did warn me about Hollywood.
And Jennifer certainly wasn't having it. According to a lip reader who spoke to the Daily Mail, Jennifer had told Ben to stop and look more friendly, look motivated, to which he replied, I might. But the internet has been having all the opinions, memes, and thoughts about this moment, as some think it's the rise of another sad Ben era. Others just wanted to make memes of the moment, while some are convinced that J-Lo is too controlling. Regardless of whatever the media might be saying, Jennifer Lopez is quick to put the news to rest, as she posted an adorable clip of the two getting ready for the awards night, which she captioned, "Always the best time with my love, my husband." And it was also recently revealed that she told Ben he was going viral right after the moment was captured. While we're not sure what to make of the tense interaction between the two, we are confident that they share true love. And at the end of the day, despite all the messy details of their relationship, that's all they'll truly need. As J-Lo herself wrote in her newsletter via Harper's Bazaar, they were right when they said all you need is love. We are so grateful to have that in abundance. A new wonderful family of 5 amazing children, and a life that we have never had more reason to look forward to, she wrote in her newsletter. Stick around long enough, and maybe you'll find the best moment of your life in a drive-thru in Las Vegas at 12:30 in the morning in the Tunnel of Love drive-thru with your kids and the one you'll spend forever with. Love is a great thing, maybe the best of things, and worth waiting for. And we're excited to see what the next couple of months bring from the Bennifer blended bunch. Catch up on more juicy celeb gist in this next video.